only one thing happened this weekend where I'm like, yeah, the NFL is rigged and the refs are in on it. And it didn't happen in the Kansas City game.
Okay.
What happened at the goal line? Why are we calling out do-overs? Why are we giving warnings to people?
Hey, don't do it again. We'll give them the touchdown. Don't make me do it.
It's crazy. And it's like, don't show Andy Reid a new trick.
Well, that's true. But it's also just like we're going to call a personal foul. Like, why? He's not doing it he's not doing it to be a dick. He's trying to stop the unstoppable fucking play.
The offense is doing it.
Yeah. Give them the personal foul. That's not fair.
That's what I thought was happening at first. And I was like, that's kind of fucked. But
yeah,
both are bad, and they didn't do it. But it was like, what are we doing? We're just like resetting over and over.
To be fair, if Washington somehow is playing 4D chess here, I think more than anything, it showed how insufferable and how like terrible to watch that play is. Like, you watch it once, okay, fine, and you get a Super Bowl or a touchdown, keep it moving. But if I have to watch it 5 times in a row, it's like, this isn't football. This is rugby. I'm fully on side now. Let's on their side. Let's ban it. I liked it before.
I think this will get it banned. Sincerely,
yeah, I think so too. It's crazy
because and it's such a loop. Like, or they'll put in something for like short yardage plays at the end zone. They have to tighten that up. Like,
I don't know how, but I'm very torn on like whether we should.
25.
I guess the only way to somewhat ban it, and I don't think it really like hurts it too much. I think like you can't have someone lined up directly behind the quarterback or something to push. Like, I feel like that, because they've already banned an offensive lineman can't pull. I think it's worded as pull a player into the end zone. So if you're behind them, you can push them through. But if you're ahead of them, you can't grab them and pull them in. That's a flag. So maybe they just get rid of all. But you can't get rid of all assistants to get yards, because then that gets rid of the awesome, the running back stayed up and the offensive lineman come and push them in the middle of the field or something.
I hope they don't do that, but that rule has been debated in the past. So
I think that's what they're going to end up doing, just because they love to ruin football. I think that's probably where they start at least. And then a year after they'll back it up.
Yeah, here's what you can't do. Like, it's ridiculous to like punish. My thought when it was happening, oh my God, Washington should jump this call every time. It's like, we're here. It's a missionary that can't happen in the middle of the field. Like, they're not going to abuse that. Like, it's just because we're here on the goal line.
Right. Exactly. Because there's no punishment.
Yeah.
Unless you award them the touchdown. And then if you don't jump it anyways, they're going to score a touchdown. So.
Well, and here's the worst part. I almost think that's like, it's not like they did it and it worked. Like, Philly did it so they wouldn't do it. And I'm like, oh, call the play.
Well, here's the thing though. If the refs have a quick trigger finger though, and be like touchdown, like they don't do the warnings thing, then it would be a team touchdown and a player doesn't get credited for it. So then we have to start getting into the debate of how selfish is the player. Because if Jalen Hurts is putting his body on the line and not getting credited for touchdowns, maybe the Eagles start not running it.
Yeah, that was the one time where I'm like, Claire's like, what's happening? I'm like, this is a made up. Like, we don't know. This is a made up scenario.
The refs have done it before. I think I'm not sure if they've ever done it in the NFL. In the Cotton Bowl in like the 50s or 60s, I think they had a play where it's like, well, what happened was there was a big score. Someone's running by themselves, and someone from the sideline came and tackled them. It just came off. They came off and tackled. They're like, it was an obvious going to score. That's a flag. We're going to give you the touchdown automatically. Yeah, so that's what it was. It's the same rule. It's just it looks very different in those scenarios.
100%. And this one looked weird because it seemed instigated by the offense. Like, I'm like, that feels a little weird. But what else were they supposed to do? And it was also, which I kind of like they're trying to also prevent Philly from just using it to kill the clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause I
It's
think they said 2 minutes went off the clock during that like first and goal.
that sucks. I don't know the best. Maybe that's a show or at least an article or something on a Flurry Sports. We'll figure out how to fix this fucking play
Yeah.
with some rule.
I do love when random NFL rules get to the spotlight. It's like this year's the first time I've seen it 5 times. First time I knew that like, oh, you can 2 feet in bounds doesn't have to be different feet. I've seen that a bunch this year.
I think I just got hit with a fucking freight train. This is what's gonna happen. And I hate it. This is just me refocusing our attention, okay? I don't want us to lose sight of the ball here. Keep your eye on the fucking ball. If the NFL's rigged for anything, it's this thing. If anything's rigged, you're right, Jake. If anything's rigged this weekend, it's this. And it's because now everyone's like, we got to make a rule change. We got to make a rule change. We got to make a rule change.
Oh.
And now we're talking about the tush push. And we're going to forget about the onside kick and the kickoff.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a fix for the stupid rule. And everyone's like, yes, we accomplished what we wanted to with officiating this offseason. And then we're going to roll into the preseason week 1. We're going to be like, son of a bitch, we forgot. We forgot about the kickoff.
They did fix the kickoff. That's such a good call by you. I was also thinking like, this will be like if the NFL's coming together and they're rigging a story. I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. I don't know if you saw that, but my screen went dark. But it was scary. Anyway,
Edibles cracking down.
Whoa, yeah. Here's what I'll say, which is if the NFL really wants to rig it for the Chiefs are going to get an onside kick in the Super Bowl. They're going to call it. They're going to declare. Then the NFL go, see, it works.
True. That would be a very like telltale sign. Like, okay, we see what you're doing. At that point, I'll be upset.
Yeah.
Don't want that. Don't want that. I want a hard fought.
Yeah.
I guess we can. Who are you cheering for in the Super Bowl? I assume you're cheering for the Eagles, right?
Correct. Eagles. Yeah. Eagles.
I don't know. I like the Eagles. I like the thought of Saquon not getting a Super Bowl ring, though. For me, I know I'm alone.
Nope. You and Joe Shane.
Okay, great. And Mara.
Yeah, true.
But like, I don't want any of these teams who pay for a big money to a running back to be like, see, and that's the finishing thing. Like, I don't like that.
I do. I kind of like reshaping the market.
Well, I don't like. That's fine. Saquon deserves the money. Fine. And I think that's the last addition a team should make is paying a running back. Like that's the cherry on top of a good team. Yeah. That's how you do it. You're not paying a running back on a team to go 10-7. That makes no sense.
100%.
But so whatever. Fine. Saquon can get a ring. I still can't tell if I like the idea of the Chiefs three-peating or not. I think I do. I think I like history being made.
So I was going to ask about that. So I might as well, this is where I was like, did Michael Jordan ruin this? Because my thought was, it's not the reason people dislike the Chiefs, but the main reason is the Chiefs are really good. But I do think some of that is the Michael Jordan LeBron argument of, for years, it was like Michael Jordan's clearly better than LeBron. And then it got a little closer. Not saying it's closer. I don't want to get into that, but
you're right.
Yeah, it got closer. And then the thing became, well, talk to me when he's got 6 rings. Like it became a number, which of course everyone was like, we've never talked about Bill Russell. No one's ever brought him up. One, like, what do you mean? That was the thing. And then since then, it's like Brady. I hated when that happened. Like it was always like Brady's not the GOAT. And then it was like, frick me. Now we can't even talk about it until someone gets X Super Bowls. Like it became like, oh, the combo's over. And I feel like that's a post. Like, again, no one does that with Terry Bradshaw. No one's like, what a G, he's up there. But I think post 90s, post Jordan, I feel like we're a little like, oh, it's got to be the metric. So I don't know if I'm into like, once the three-peats happen, it's done. Like this is the greatest NFL team ever. Fuck yeah.